Get this man some help.
Stop it. Get some help.
A Blazers podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Get This Man Some Help, your one-stop shop for all things Blazers. And you know, the title of this podcast is Get This Man Some Help, but I don't think Denny needs it, Sean.
I think he's got plenty. I think he's got everything he needs right there at home.
He doesn't need a single...
Don't even need to go shopping.
No.
You know, you're at the blackjack table, you got the 20, I'm standing pat.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? And we were texting back and forth as the play-in game was happening. And you said something that just, you know, it lit up all my pleasure centers. That's such a weird thing to say.
It's a little wild, but all right. It's
okay.
We're not even a minute in. Okay. Fair enough.
You texted me. You know, I'm so glad that like the rest of the country is able to see Denny.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that's 100% right, because all eyes, these playing games are so funny because it's such a genius move because, you know, most likely none of the teams playing in the play-in are going to do anything real in the playoffs. Aside from Miami that one year, you know. And so this is a chance. There's nothing else going on, and all eyes are on these games.
Yeah.
And Denny just showed out. And I don't know about you, but as I was watching that game, I, not for 1 second, thought we wouldn't be in it at the end. Even when they started making a run, they started trying to pull away. I knew, oh no, we have a man named Deni Avdija on our team. Mm-hmm. And he is going to do whatever it takes to get us back in and make this a conversation.
Well, the thing about that game is Phoenix plays really, really stupid basketball. And I mean, just you've got an all-world player in Devin Booker, but Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks are taking one-legged three-pointers. If you're on the other team, you got to feel like that alone will keep us engaged. You know, we'll be, you know, we'll be around. But yeah, I mean, we had this conversation. Is Denny clutch? Well, I mean, like I said, you'd love to see him make more free throws for sure. But when it came down to it, with 4 or 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they gave that man the ball. And okay, and the thing about it, the thing that I'm really beginning to appreciate about Denny, and this is as someone who grew up watching Clyde Drexler. Okay,
yeah,
Denny's not complicated.
Yeah, it's
bounce, go right, Euro step finish, pretty much
right.
Every play, and he executes it all the time. Like, no surprises. I mean, and if you watched Phoenix trying to defend him, they were trying to force him left, and he was still just blowing by him on the right every single time. Yeah, that is a Clyde Drexler thing. I defy you to find a photo of Clyde Drexler dribbling with his left hand. It doesn't exist because it never happened in his 15-year career. And then he's kind of the same way. Like, you know what's coming. You know it's going to be, you know, fake pop gone. And every single play. And he just did it. And there was
that play. Yeah, there's that play toward the end of the game where I think we were down by 1. Denny gets the ball. And he comes up to the top, and he has who does he have on him? Is a Goodwin on him?
Yeah.
And he waves away the screen, and then he continues to wave. Just keep going.
Yes, just get
and
away.
Then he proceeds to do that tween thing. But there is like everybody knows he's going right.
Yeah.
But that back and forth metronome thing that he does is so staccato and quick that it is extremely off-putting. And he gets into the teeth. And then 3 defenders collapse on him, and he somehow still makes the shot. And you just watched Dillon Brooks, who fouls out on the play, just be like, step away.
Yeah.
Now, the Suns, you know, they do have Devin Booker, but like Jalen Green was cooking. He was 14 for 29. Like, he was shooting over 50%. He was going nuts. And like Dillon Brooks he was making all kinds of weird ass shots. And I was like, okay, this is getting kind of nuts. And then and we kind of have more of like a cavalry sort of thing. Like, it's like, we're going to do this by committee, except for Denny, you know? And they have more of like, let's take turns. But you're right. I mean, you want Devin Booker to take more than, you know, the thing is Devin Booker was 7 for 17. Like, he wasn't having like an efficient.
But here's the thing. Know? In basketball, you have to kind of play the percentages over the long term. Okay. Phoenix is a team full of guys who can make very difficult shots.
Yeah.
And that works until you stop making the very difficult shots. What you want to do is you want to try to take good shots. Like I'd rather have Devin Booker go 7 for 17 if he's actually taking good shots and shots that are in his wheelhouse than rely on Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks, who are literally just throwing up playground shit. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it drives me a little bit crazy. Because like I said, Jalen Green was absolutely on fire. But if you look at the shots he take, every one of those shots was like, oh shit, oh good job. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's not how you win long term. You know what I mean?
It does sort of
may
wither
pull out
at
a
the end
couple
of
of games like that.
Right.
In a best of 7 series, that is not how you want to go about your business.
Yeah, and it definitely did sort of feel like it withered in the last like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Or so, where all of a sudden the lights got a little brighter.
Because when those shots don't stop, if they stop falling, then what do you have? You know, now you're just throwing up bad shots.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, this Denny thing is, you know, it's getting to the point where the ceiling is the sky kind of thing. It's like, how high can this guy get, you know? Because the thing about Denny is his jump shot isn't what you would say automatic, right? Like his 3-point shot isn't automatic.
It was looking a little wonky. Not the Phoenix game, but the game before that. Where it seemed like there was a little bit of a hitch.
Yeah. Have you ever watched his feet when he shoots?
Yeah.
He does this like, it's almost like he flutters his feet, like he's doing like a kick, like a swimming kick or something. It's kind of strange. But what I'm saying is like, but it doesn't seem like it's necessarily out of his wheelhouse. Like for a long time, like the thing with Giannis was like, do you remember there was like the 2-year window where it was like, and when he develops a 3-point shot, watch out. But you sort of kind of realize like, okay, Giannis is like the 3-point shot's probably not going to happen for Giannis. Like you just look at the mechanics there, like it's just not fluid. It's not there.
You don't need with Giannis. You don't need him to become a knockdown shooter. You just want to add that little sprinkle of threat that he might hit it, and that opens up a little bit more room for him to sort of operate and do what he does. And Denny's kind of the same way. You don't need to rely on Denny to be like a knockdown 3-point shooter. You just want people in the back of their mind to be like, oh, this dude can hit it if I don't get up on him. And that allows him again to do that tween right step. It just gives him that split second more, you know, headway. It works. Like I said, I Denny is, I think, found a comfort zone. And there's thresholds when you sort of watch a guy elevate his game.
Yeah.
And I think one of the important thresholds is, how are you going to respond when teams start game planning for you, right? When you are the guy and teams start to realize you are the guy and they start game planning for you, can you maintain that level of output? And you notice, like, was it a couple years ago when like Shaedon Sharpe was the guy for like 5 or 6 games to the end of the season, and teams started being like, oh, okay, well, we'll just, and then it was like, oh, what am I supposed to do now? Like I'm getting double teamed and triple. You just said that play. I know exactly the play you're talking about. As soon as he made his move, the entire Phoenix team crashed on him, and he was still like, "Yeah, this is nothing to me. You are nothing to me. When I get to this place, you are nothing." And I think sky is kind of the limit. Like it would be great if he got a little more reliable in his 3-point shot, but it's not necessary. Like it'd
be great if he made his free throws.
It would be yes. Like keep the 3-point. Don't even practice 3-point shots. So practice your free throws.
Yeah,
we'd like to get you at that 80% mark. You know, I mean that could be a make or break sort of thing. But yeah, he's doing it. Listen, he is very likely going to be an all NBA team selection. I was kind of looking at it, and there's like 5 or 6 guys who don't qualify this year, like LeBron and Steph and Anthony Edwards, and a couple of the guys are not eligible because they missed so many games. So I mean, Denny could be a second team all NBA player this year, more likely third. Yeah, but he could.
Yeah, it definitely gets a little complicated. Yeah, it definitely got complicated with the Luka and Cade won their appeals. I think it was going to be guaranteed. And
and if you look at the stats, like Denny and Cade's stats are pretty similar. I mean, Cade's a little better passer, but the fact that he's on the number 1 seed team,
he's on the number 1 seed.
You know what I mean? Kind of elevates him a little bit. But yeah, once you look at once you get past, I think the first team will be probably Wemby and Jokic, Shea, Luka. I mean, I don't understand how you can't put Luka on. Maybe Jaylen Brown or Tyrese Maxey are in that top 5 spot. And then, you got either Jaylen Brown or Maxey, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant's having a good year. but it becomes a lot more fluid in that, like kind of 8 through 15 spot. So yeah,
and even though
but Denny is in the conversation.
And even though the play-in games don't necessarily count for anything in terms of like official whatever, everybody watched it. Everybody saw it. Everybody knows, like just the same way that
everybody was talking about it.
Exactly.
Everybody was where did this? Because Portland was on so few national games this year.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They just there was like a handful, like 3 or 4, and I think Denny didn't even play in a couple of them. You know what I mean. So for a lot of fans and a lot of media people, they're starting. They got a real good look at what's going on, and he did not disappoint.
Did not disappoint, and if he even shoots a league average free throw rate there, you go for all of a sudden you add like 3 or 4 more points to that total, and he starts to get real scary.
Yeah,
and it made me think. There's all this talk, I think, with Dun in the building, that perhaps there's a big swing in the works, and the name that's bandied about is Giannis, and I mean maybe what I'm saying is totally idiotic and like completely blasphemous, but like, would you rather have Denny or Giannis today, right now?
Well, Giannis. I still think as it sits, Giannis is a generational talent.
How close is it though?
Well, so here's the thing, and here's where I will hedge a little bit. Just in a vacuum, like you have the choice, Denny or Giannis, and you don't know necessarily who the other 11 guys on the team are going to be. It's right. Giannis 100 times out of 100. But I will say this: we have Damian Lillard, and we have Denny, and we have Tumani. The Giannis-Damian experiment didn't work real well. They never really got 100% comfortable with each other on the court.
Yeah.
Like they had good games, but over the long term, they never really gelled.
Yeah. And
I don't understand why you would want to replay that, especially considering you're going to have to give some stuff up to get Giannis. He's not going to be cheap, even in a sort of weird trade market and distressed trade market. He's not going to come cheap. You're going to have to see what you can give Donovan Clingan. You're going to give up.
I don't know.
But
if you're the Bucks, wouldn't you ask for Denny? Like,
well, 100%. I mean, that's your starting position is Denny, Shaden, Klingan, and draft picks. That's your starting position.
Denny is on an extremely team-friendly contract.
Great contract.
They know how to build around a Denny-type player.
100%.
And, that's the thing that worries me is that, Giannis, I think you're right. Yeah, Giannis is the guy. But, like, he can't stay healthy. He's at a totally different career point in terms of age and trajectory and stuff. And I guess what I'm wondering is, that transition between frisky, lower end playoff team to true contender is such a tricky move, right? Like you had the Rockets feel good. Hey, these guys are going to be better than you think they are. They go all in for Kevin Durant. And obviously like they're still, they're in the playoffs, they're whatever, but like it hasn't gone like we all thought it would go. It wasn't like this seamless plug and play thing. And then you have a team like the Thunder who were that frisky lower end playoff team. And they just continued to ascend by building inside the house. They didn't go outside to get, the different, whatever. And so I'm just wondering, like, can we be the Thunder versus the Rockets, where the Rockets is like total angst all the time? Like, should we trade this guy? Is Ime Udoka our coach? Like, can Amon Thompson hit a jump shot? Like, whatever. It's all these different things. And like, I just think like dun is going to be like more like that, or more like the Suns who like were like, hey, I guess Bradley Beal can rediscover himself here.
It's a tricky thing. Like I saw the report that like now that he's kind of in control of the team, they're implementing like just kind of like petty cost cutting measures, like making sure everyone has to check out of the hotel by like 11:30 or whatever. So like
can I go into that a little bit?
Please,
so
please do. Yes, please do.
Apparently, somebody noticed that there was like a lot of people in Blazers branded gear hanging out in the lobby with their suitcases, which we've all been there,
sure,
because we're normal people and we travel, at a normal budget level and all this stuff, and you have these weird like 3-hour dead spots in between when your shuttle comes for the airport or whatever. but these are professional basketball. It's a professional basketball team in the National Basketball Association. Like, I'm sure that there could have been better time spent prepping for the Spurs or something, but instead they're all hanging around because Dun wants to save a few bucks on the late checkout fee. Like, what are we talking about?
Like, what are we even? And this is what I'm saying, man. These guys come in, and it's just like it furthers the kind of shitification that we're just gonna like strip as much shit. Like, just be cool, man. Just be cool. Like, fuck.
Just be cool.
It's you know, you're taking 41 road trips a year. You know what I mean? Let the guys fucking sleep in, pardon my language, but it really, like, you're a $1 billion entity. You're about to get $600 and some odd million from the state. Like, just relax. Like, let people enjoy their trip. You know, it's the playoffs are coming, for God's sakes. Like,
you're going to get a check for 2 expansion teams. Just deposit it into your account for doing nothing.
You're just going to be rolling in money, man. Like, we don't have to skimp in every corner. Like, what are we doing? It bothers me to no end. Just that little tiny. So again, a guy like that, if he's kind of sticking it to the production staff and the training staff, just being kind of an asshole. But at the same time, this is 100% a guy who'd be like, yes, I'll mortgage the entire 10-year future to get a shiny Giannis Antetokounmpo. You know, maybe we can hire Jeff Van Gundy or Doc Rivers to coach.
Welcome, Doc. We can point out some good coffee shops for you. We can get you a table at what is it, Dewberry?
Yeah, sure. Listen, to go back to your original question, if you look at the teams who have been winning championships in the NBA, not involving LeBron James, they are generally like a homegrown, develop guys, see who your guys are going to be, and then try to build, add that last final guy or two and make the team better. And here's the thing, again, we don't know necessarily what's going to happen in the future, but you look at the Blazers as they're constructed. You've got Deni Avdija, who is ascending to all-NBA status. I think it's safe to say he is the man. You've got Donovan Clingan, who's at 3rd in the league in rebounding and has a not outside shot at being named to like an all-defensive team, like maybe the 3rd team. You've got Kamara, who is probably going to be, fingers crossed, all-NBA first team defense this year because he's just a holy terror. You have Shaedon Sharpe, who you are still a little bit unsure of exactly what his ceiling's going to be, but coming off the bench with 18 points a game is not nothing. Again, Scoot, you're a little bit unsure of. I think Chris Murray is turning into a very solid kind of role player guy. Are you going to keep Rob Williams? I don't know. Are you going to keep Drew Holiday? Probably not. Are you going to keep Jeremy Grant? Hopefully not. But against all this, you still have the return of one of the greatest players in NBA history, who's just kind of waiting in the wings, doing his rehab. You bring Damian Lillard back into this mix. I don't necessarily know if you need to go out shopping for another superstar until you see what you got there.
I don't think you should be in a rush to do anything. And just a point of clarification, there's only 2 all-defensive teams, so Donovan would have to make the second one.
Oh, is that right? I apologize.
That's right, yeah. So it's a little tighter on that end. But I do think that you're right. Like, Donovan is a real thing. I mean, we have these real players, and I just don't want to be in too big of a rush.
No.
Because if you're in too big of a rush, you don't have anything at the end of the day.
And you just look at how much each of these guys has improved year over year. You know what I mean? You look at, Denny has gone, this is like a 6th year now. And I think he's kind of come out of nowhere. Like, even the most generous scouting reports on him coming out of Israel, it wasn't this. You know what I mean? Clingan, they kind of knew that they hoped was going to be. But just the improvement. Yeah. Just the blossoming of Toumani Kamara's offensive game, I think, is exceeded expectations. You know what I mean? These guys we have, they're getting better. I think of Shea. Shea was not Shea for the first 4 or 5 years he played. He needed some time. You saw it. You saw the flashes, but he did not become an MVP until he kind of had a little time under him.
Do you think the Clippers would enjoy employing Shea Gilgeous-Alexander right now if they would have played a little bit slower of a game?
All
right. So here's the thing I wanted to ask you about. Did you see the bedazzled mini iPad they gave Denny? That he wore around his neck.
Okay.
First, like a player of the game reward.
The play-in games have been spectacular. I mean, just amazing basketball.
Yeah.
Just all four of them were just amazing games, and I can't wait to see what happens. Is it tonight? Phoenix Golden State? Can't wait.
Both of them.
Yeah. Amazon is just way too fucking much. Like, just it's a little over the top for me.
Yeah.
The bling bling. I mean, it's a cool concept, I guess.
Is it?
The players really liked it.
I don't know if they did. I think they were like, we like Amazon and we want to have a partnership later on, so let's act excited.
I just like the AI-generated videos of like...
That thing's going to be in the Westland Goodwill in like 6 months. And I'm going to find it. And I'm going to find it in the Westland Goodwill. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. You know, Dun 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 is over here making the people check out early from their hotel rooms. Meanwhile, Amazon is paying some idiot like $50 million to bedazzle an iPad. Like, what are we doing? And like you think Denny's going to be like walking around the house wearing his highlights on his chest? Like, does he have to charge it? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to charge it. Like, my highlights aren't showing.
It was in a design flaw. They bedazzled over the charger, so it's just it's a charging point thing, or else you got to chisel off the beads to recharge it so you can walk around playing. It's really
like, is he gonna wear that on the team plane? It's like, God damn it, Denny, we know, okay?
I mean, I feel like that's the kind of thing as a punishment you would do.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Mr. Superstar, put on your bedazzled highlight machine. And sit
Although
there in
if
the corner.
there is one player in the NBA who probably does get a kick out of it, it is Denny. He's such a sweet guy. I think he's probably like, wow, guys, thank you.
It kind of seems like that. I think Steph was a little like, what the hell is this? You know, like, what are we doing? I think LaMelo Ball probably would love that sort of thing.
I guess, yeah. I mean, look at his shoes. It's probably the same. It's the same designer.
Yeah, I like the coverage is. I was watching the game and just thinking, man, if only Lamar and Kevin Calabro were calling this game. You know what I mean? It adds so much more joy. And,
but I feel that way about
Candace Parker and, you know, the talent. But yeah, it was just over the top and kind of tacky and just like.
Do you think they're regretting hiring Dirk? Because they go around the table and everybody's, you know, has this sort of chemistry and this flow, and then it gets to Dirk and Dirk's like, let's play basketball.
This was good. This was good. I feel bad for the poor studio host. She is just constantly trying to like draw more out. And by all accounts, Dirk Nowitzki is just a super nice, pleasant
he's
guy.
Like a stellar human being.
Just a lovely person.
Yeah.
And I will say, I've always been a big Udonis Haslem fan. Just because I'm a huge fan of a guy who can. I mean, he should have his number retired, even though he didn't. He played like 7 minutes his last 5 years, but he was so impactful and like, you know, like he's the ultimate like vet leader guy. And Blake Griffin is a lot more entertaining than I thought he would be.
Yeah,
like he's a kind of
he's a lot more likable. Yeah,
a lot more likable than you thought. But boy, Dirk is it's hard. It's hard to watch.
He's so flat.
Oh my god.
So we got the next games coming up. A friend of the program, Ryan, asked me, how much do you hate Dillon Brooks after watching that game, the play-in game? And here's my thoughts on Dillon Brooks. And we've covered him before on the pod. U of L legend Dillon Brooks, by the way. One of the most beautiful humans to ever get under Mike Krzyzewski's skin. Just like totally under his skin, which everybody's excited about that.
Yeah.
Dillon Brooks is annoying in the way that your little brother is annoying, in that he's going to talk his shit until he loses, and then he's going to go to his room and pout, right? Mm-hmm. And that's infuriating, right? But the guy plays with incredible, like, there's nothing Dillon Brooks has that he's bringing to the locker room. He's laying it all out there on the floor, for better or for worse. A lot of times worse, but he is really annoying. But I think we need more Dillon Brooks in the league, honestly. Like, it is so compelling to watch this man play because he gets under your skin. He makes you feel. And, like, that's what we want from basketball, right? Like, for so long, basketball was like everybody's buddies. Everybody's like a brand collaborator, like, you know, all these different things. Dillon Brooks, you know, he doesn't give a shit. And I personally liked it. Like, we ended up coming out on top, and it was that much more satisfying because it was against Dillon Brooks.
Yeah, so I think there is that quality. If you can beat Dillon Brooks, you do feel that little bit happier because your team's winning a game and you're kind of putting the bully in his place. To me, I think the reason I don't like him, so I will say this: Draymond Green has cost them games with his bullshit. He's also won them games with his sort of talent. Golden State does not become the Golden State juggernaut without him on defense. And
well,
you know
even
I mean?
in that playing game,
100%.
He had those 2 stops against Kawhi.
100%. But there have been games where he has cost them games just being a jerk for no other reason than just being a jerk. I will say in Dillon Brooks' defense, and I've not watched a lot of Phoenix games, I don't think he's cost the team games with his antics and all that kind of stuff. But I think the thing that really bothers me about him is he's kind of like a parody of a player like the Enforcer from the 80s and 90s. But he's not that guy. Like, he's not Rick Mahorn. You know what I mean? He's playing the part. It's almost like professional wrestling, sort of. Like, you know, he plays the big bad villain, but, you know, when he gets backstage, he's just kind of a dork, you know?
Well, he gets physically bigger every season. Like, he is huge.
Yeah.
And so, like, there were plays where he's ramming his shoulder into...
And that's another thing that really... And I applaud the refs for letting them play. And it is kind of startling to see games where because the officiating has been so tight the past few years, it's kind of startling to see like the physical game, because that's the game that I sort of grew up watching, and you know what I mean, where you let guys play. But Dillon Brooks, every time he had the ball, he led with a forearm shiver, the old Tito Santana. I'm just before I even dribble the ball, I'm popping you with the elbow, and then I'm going to dribble the ball. And I just thought, like, okay. Like
I think he's exactly that. And I think, you know, aside from like watching him in college and being a U of O fan, there's also that documentary, The Heart of Gold or whatever, and they like focused on Dillon Brooks and his like in Canada's run in the Olympics as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he just seems like he's a really nice guy. He comes off really well in that. But I do think that for other teams, Tumani is that Dillon Brooks, right? Like, we have a little bit of that. I mean, he's not as vocal or whatever, but I just think that's a spice that the league needs, and I think there's a reason why Dillon Brooks is still employed. Is that because after you don't remember, but after, I mean, maybe you probably remember. I'm saying general, you don't remember. After Memphis, people were like, "Oh, is he gonna have to play in Europe? Like, where he's not gonna get a contract?" And he, like, they showed that stat. You know, this is a sidetrack, but these television stats are getting fucking ridiculous. Like, they did this thing about like clutch point finishes or whatever, and like the numbers kept changing, and it's just like whatever happened to be the number at the end of the game. Anyway, it doesn't make any sense. There was no base, like they didn't need to go to college. Anyway. Okay. All this to say, I don't hate Dillon Brooks. I enjoy rooting against him. I will be very, very fascinated to see him play against the Warriors. He had this whole quote about how he's looking forward to the matchup, and
because you're just so interested to see, are they finally going to fight or kiss? I don't know,
or kiss,
or one or the other.
Heated
like
rivalry.
There's just so
Let's
much.
go.
Yeah, there's just so much tension between him and Draymond, and I just hope they both lose.
In the first ever.
The thing about, I'm not sure there's ever been a pairing of a player more likable and more detestable than Steph and Draymond.
Yeah.
Watching Steph Curry, how can you not root for Steph Curry?
I can't.
Like,
I can't help it.
I texted you this. Like, I know he's not in the conversation for the MVP. I get that, and he probably shouldn't be. He hadn't had that kind of season. But name a player more valuable to his team. Even Jokic. Denver can win games. When you take Steph Curry away from the Warriors, they are the geriatric Washington Wizards. When you add him back into the Warriors mix, they can beat anyone on any given night, and they believe. You can see their whole body language change when he starts making 3-point. You got Guy Santos turning into a viable second. He turns into Scottie Pippen when Steph starts hitting his threes. I mean, that guy is magic, and a lot of it is just vibes. You know what I mean? Just he starts hitting threes, that entire team is ready to run through a wall. And then you got on the other side Draymond, who's like kicking old ladies in the front row and pulling guys' pants down. What are you doing?
Steph Curry is like so compelling. He is like a Reese's peanut butter cup. All right, there is never a time where a Reese's peanut butter cup is going to disappoint you.
No,
it's like no matter, you can come out with any kind of dessert you want. Hey, here's a cheesecake. Here's this. Here's that. if you can offer me a Reese's peanut butter cup, forget it.
Yeah.
He is always like watching him play in that playing game. It was like just totally. I was magnetized to the screen. There was like, there's no way I'm missing a second of this.
And the thing that I really enjoy is the other guys on the court are just like that too. Like watching like Kristaps Porzingis's face,
Yeah,
and being like, I've seen this on TV, I've seen it against us, but to like be here and know that like you can see the conversation he's having in his head watching Steph Curry play. Like
we
he's
talked
on the
about
court.
this. We talked about this after the Olympics.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, it's nice to root for Steph Curry. This feels very fun.
Like you said, he is just because again, he does not. He looks much more like Robin than Batman. He's not physically imposing. He's not like a big, like LeBron's like a big, superhero looking guy. Steph's just kind of a, I mean, he's not small by normal human standards, but certainly on the NBA court. And, he's kind of cherubish in the face, kind of has the baby face.
Cherubish. And
I mean, the guy it's just a magician, just an absolute, just a magician. Jimmy Butler.
All right.
Like, who's that memeable face in the NBA anyway.
Yeah.
But
after he makes that shot,
we were all Jimmy Butler.
Yeah. Just like, what? Hello. Do I want to speaking about if we might kiss or not? Like Jimmy Butler was like, hello.
Yeah. Cancel
I thought I was dead inside. I thought I needed 20 cups of coffee to keep me awake. Turns out.
It's amazing.
All right, so this is the last thing I want to get on because there is important basketball still to be played for the Blazers, unlike a lot of the people in the NBA. So we have the Spurs coming up. Obviously, they are the number 2 seed. They have a little guy named Victor Wembanyama. There are 3 storylines that I want to preview with you, and you can tell me which one you're most interested in.
Okay.
There's the UConn Brotherhood, right? So we have Steph Castle going against Donovan Clingan. They're good friends, won a natty together, and they're coming up against each other. We got the Spurs castoffs coming back into the building. So we have Blake Wesley, we have City Sissoko, and Tiago Splitter all coming back, right? And then we have the Wemby versus Scoot, right? This is a chance maybe for Scoot to adjust the narrative just a little bit, right? Okay, so which one of those things are you most excited about?
Well, I'll take them in order. The UConn connection. We'll see. We'll see how that happens. They don't have enough time against each other to really know what that's going to be like.
Right.
I hope it's good. Blake and CD are probably not going to see the court that much, so I'm not terribly worried about that. I do think that this is very important for Tiago. I think he very much, because I do think there is this. The thing about it is when you have a Greg Popovich. And you have players who play for Greg Popovich who want to also go into coaching, you're sort of competing to be the favorite son. You know what I mean? Like you want to make dad proud. And I think that even he might not admit it. It might just be a thing that he talks about with his wife, like before bed. But yes, I think that he would very much like to show the Spurs that they made the wrong call by not bringing him back into the fold.
Yeah.
So I think that there's something there that will be interesting. I'm interested to watch that. Scoot and Wemby. That to me is going to be the most fascinating thing. Because here's the thing. And we talked about it. I hate watching Victor Wembanyama play because it's viscerally disturbing to me that a guy can be that shape and size and move the way that he does. I was watching a game. I was telling Joe this last night, actually, where they had run a play, they'd run a pick and pop, and Wemby is on the point guard, and the point guard takes Wemby all the way to the hole. And he goes to pass the ball out to the screener who is now had gone over the corner. And Victor Wembanyama starts to run and sticks his hand out, and his hand is almost parallel with the ball all the way to the guy who's going to shoot. Just to cover that much ground that quick it's insane. I don't like watching it. It makes me upset. But what's this? Victor Wembanyama as a defensive player is so he completely reverses the math. Normally what you want when you're an offensive player is space and angles, right? I mean, when you're one-on-one with somebody, that's what you want to get room and then attack at a good angle. with Victor, when you're playing against Victor Wembanyama, you're worried about any angle is a bad angle because he is so long and so quick. If you blow by him, you are in more danger actually because he can just get up behind you and swat it out of the air. There's no such thing as a step back jumper against him. You know what I mean? Like he's just any space is actually more advantageous for him, right? I think the counter to that, and if you watch some of the games where teams kind of did well against him, is you kind of want to go straight into him at all times. You don't want to go by him. You literally want to get right head into the chest and kind of try to go under him or draw contact, you know? And you know who's really good at that? Is Scoot Henderson. It's like we talked about, if you can't play defense with your feet, you start playing it recklessly with your hands. And
Yep.
I think both Scoot and Denny have the ability to just literally like drive right into his chest.
Just snuggle it right up
Just
there.
go right into his chest. Don't worry about, and you know, like we were just talking about with Denny. Denny's not gonna. You know where he's going. He's going right, and he's gonna go fast. And I think that you try to tell him, look, instead of trying to get by him, get your shoulder into his chest and push him. Like you want contact on every single play. If I'm the Blazers, I am running. Whoever is Wemby's guarding, I'm running a pick. That guy is screening me, and I'm going right into Wemby's chest every play for the first quarter. And let's just see what we can do.
See what happens.
And Scoot is perfect for that. And even in the past couple times, you've seen him do that. Where like when Wemby gets over, he's going to trying to go right through him, just right through him. And I think that, like I said, I don't think the Blazers are going to win because the Spurs are just so deep and so well coached. But I think the Blazers are sort of uniquely suited to deal with the Wemby monster. At least Wemby as a defender. Offensively, I don't know how you stop that guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think Scoot is gonna, as a point of pride, now that he's feeling himself, now that he's feeling good, I think he's gonna try to take it to him. And I think that's a good strategy.
I think in terms of storylines, I think that's the one I want to be the most compelling because watching Scoot in that playing game, he played with a different level of just come fuck with me stuff. Like they didn't play him down the stretch, but when he was in, you could see him being like, what do I have to lose? I'm going to try real fucking hard. And the really encouraging thing was that it was on defense, right?
Yeah,
that's really encouraging.
That's
because
right.
Anybody who's ever played basketball knows if you're not having a good showing on offense, if you can contribute on defense, it starts to click, it starts to turn things around for you. And that's what Scoot was doing. And I think he's starting to sort of think to himself, wait a second, I was the number 3 pick. A lot of people thought I should have been number 2. When Wemby came here with the French team and my G League Ignite play, I played really well against him. Like I showed out a little bit.
Because he got into him.
Because he got into him. And so that's what I hope happens. I hope he has enough, sort of rope to do that, because you can see a scenario where it's like Wemby's out there and somebody's attacking him, whether it's Scoot or Denny or even, Shaden is actually kind of sneaky good at getting into the teeth of stuff. And you could see that happening. And then I think that, you're probably right. Blake and City aren't going to see too much time. But so what are your suggestions for, what are your predictions? What do you think this, I made you predict the score of the game. You thought, and you got that one wrong on the Clippers game. You thought we were going to lose by 9.
Way off. You were
way off.
Closer
but
than I was.
I'm coming back to the well here.
Yeah.
What do you think? How is this series going to go?
Man, that's tricky.
Oh, no, actually, you know what? We're probably going to talk next Friday, right? So between now and next Friday, you're going to have game 1 and game 2, and that's it. So what do you think? How do you think those first 2 games are going to go?
And they're both in San Antonio, I think, right?
Both in San Antonio.
I think,
for those of you listening at home, the angst you see on Sean's face, if I can just maybe peel back the curtain a little bit, is you and I are a bit superstitious, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And so predicting the thing that's too positive.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
There was a percentage of you who didn't predict the Blazers to win against the Clippers. I know this because you didn't want to jinx it.
Yeah, of course. I listen. You can't listen. Kanahara tut tut tut. You can't be too positive for any reason. You
No.
just can't. That's when things go bad. No, I think it's reasonable to think the Blazers can pull one of these games if things go well. I
Which
think
one?
if they get beat up in the first game, it's going to be a very quick season. If they can keep it close to the first game, they maybe could win the second. So yeah, I my prediction is they're going to be down 0-2 coming back to Portland. But I think it's reasonable that they could snag one of those games. Like I said, they've got the pieces. And one of the things that like is I was thinking about this, it almost popped into my head like, okay, Wemby is Wemby. There's no one like Wemby, you know. But we also got a guy who's 7'3" and could be an all defensive team selection. You know what I mean? It's not like you know what I mean? It's not like we have nothing for him. We've got a guy out of everyone else in the NBA. We have one of maybe the 3 or 4 guys who can sort of size up with Wemby as close as anyone else is going to size up with Wemby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does that translate? I don't know, but we got him there. He's big and he's active on defense.
I hope he's doing his grapevines. Doing his grapevines.
Yeah.
Stay lateral. Stay quick.
Well, that's where it could get a little how you going. When he drags him out to the deep water. Like, I can see a scenario where Wemby, multiple times in a game, does the thing where he stands at the 3-point line and just alley-oops it to himself off the backboard because Klingon can't keep up with him, which is something that Wemby can do. I've seen him tip and dunk his own 3-point miss. That is disgusting. Insane.
Yeah. Okay, so you think down 0-2 coming back to Portland?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say we beat them in the first game as like a shocker.
Bold.
And then we get blown out in the second game.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
But we'll see. We'll see. And, I mean, I have something else I want to talk to you about, but we're 40 minutes in. We're going to save it.
It feels like we just got started.
It's wonderful to talk to you, Sean, as always. Thanks to everybody who's listening. Thanks to Puma Distortion, as always, for the sounds. Hopefully we have some reason to place, we don't have, do we have to, let's see, what is this? Oh yeah, that's the Denny music. We should have kicked off with the Denny music. Oh, let's go!